Hi everyone, it's Sonia McDonald here, and I'm the CEO and founder of Leadership HQ McDonald Inc. Now, I've had a number of requests from people that have said that they love my lives on a Sunday for some reason, and I kind of thought, yeah, isn't that kind of our day off? But I thought with lockdown, I don't know if we can keep track of the days. So I thought, look, I know it's a Sunday, and we're actually in lockdown here in Brisbane for a few days. I think poor, amazing Sydney's in a lockdown still. I know Melbourne's just come out of it. So, and the rest of the country, unfortunately, I've lost track. I think that, I don't know if you are, I think South Australia is, but anyway, we are definitely going through some interesting times. And I wanted to share a live today. I was going to talk about why kindness and courage are really important. I am going to touch on that, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to talk about how we need to change the frame, because when we change the frame and our focus, we can change the game. And there's also neuroscience around this as well, which I want to talk about. Now, last week around this time, I wasn't true to my values. I think, look, I was getting angry and sad and frustrated around the leadership that I was seeing, particularly around Australia, and I was getting frustrated. I was feeling and taking on the burden and hurt and sadness and anger of so many people around me and on social media, and I put a few posts up around how I felt around some of our leadership, and I thought, and some of it was really courageous, but it lacked a little bit of kindness, which is really kind of my MO. And then I thought about it. I thought, this isn't good because I'm not staying aligned to my values, and I totally want to stay courageous, and I totally want to stay kind, and I want to build a world of kind and courageous leaders. But then I thought I was getting really, and I'm loving some of the posts and comments around how we're trying to facilitate change, and I'm still want to be part of that. But I thought I need to change my frame, right? Because me not staying aligned to my values wasn't going to serve me, and it wasn't going to help you, because therefore it was really impacting my mental health. And so I decided to take a couple of days back, regroup, and start to think about what I want to stand for. What do I want to be known for? And I really invite each and every one of you out there to think about that. Like, who do you want to be, and what do you want to stand for? Because, as a remarkable leader, a leader said to me last week, the only thing that really matters is that person that you look at in the mirror, right? And I started to change my frame, because when we change our focus on our frame and start to look and focus on things that we're grateful for, the positives, how we can be the change we want to see, we'll start to see that data a lot more. So, and just want to share this. I actually love this cup, the Kind Human Club. Love it. It's my daughter's. I stole it from her. Don't tell her. And that's why I wanted to kind of talk to you around, if we can change the frame together, right? Because we're in this together. I really want to see us being one country, right? One collective leadership group, because we're all leaders. We can all make a difference, okay? Leadership's an attitude and it's a choice, and we can absolutely make a difference. I am obviously seeing, and we're all seeing, a lot of bullying and a lot of negativity, a lot of kind of pulling people down, and we're seeing a lot of frustrations. And I get that our political leaders and representatives are doing the best they can. There's different people's views on that, and I have different views on that. But the thing is, we can't, as I said, we can't control what's going on with them. We can just control what's going on with us. So if what we focus on really is so important, okay, because our mindset, our health and our well-being, can I tell you, is our most important thing, all right? And it takes courage to focus on what is really important. And that's why I wrote this book, right? I wrote First Comes Courage, and I wrote about why courage matters in everything we do when it comes to kindness. And this book is around my courage compass, around kindness, impact, purpose, and resilience. And we need to stay strong and resilient and courageous during this time. I also talk about courage for life. And when I talk about focus, and when I talk about the frame, what we need to be focusing on, this brain of ours is so powerful, because I say attention goes, energy flows, right? So where are we putting our attention? There's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. It actually is part of the brain that determines what we focus on. Now, our brain weighs about 1.5 kilos, give or take a few 100 grams each and every like it could be a little bit larger, a little bit smaller, but that 1.5 kilos, right? that takes 20% of our body's energy. And that's a lot if you think about the ratio of 1.5 kilos to the rest of our body. So it's really important that we take care of our mindset and our brain and where we're actually focusing our frame and our attention, right? And our thoughts absolutely have power. And there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. Now, I call it the RAS for short, and it kind of sorts out, different kind of data and what we're going to be focusing on. And you actually set your RAS, right? The thing with the RAS, it's kind of near the back of the brain, near the limbic system, is the limbic system, right? This determines our habits. So what we focus on is really, really important. So I'll give you an example. I don't know if anyone here is watching, if you've bought a car recently or you've bought a car in the last few years, it could be used or secondhand, and you've gone looking for cars and you've found the car and you've gone, wow, I've made a decision to buy the Nissan, the Audi, the Hyundai, the Ford, whatever car or Mazda, whatever car you've decided to buy. And then all of a sudden you're driving on the road or you're walking on the road and then you see the car everywhere, right? And you kind of go, why are so many people, driving Audis or Hyundais and in my particular style and model and color, right? And that's the RAS, because we've decided to buy that car and then we're pretty excited about it because the brain tends to focus on things called DIPI, dangerous, interesting, pleasurable, and important, right? And because we've decided that car and then we're kind of walking along the road or driving along the road and we've gone, where are all these, I didn't realize that so many people have this car. It's kind of your RAS in action. The thing with the RAS, it's not only about that car analogy. It also happens if you're pregnant and, you see pregnant women everywhere. There's lots of different examples. Is the fact that it happens also with what we focus on when it comes to thoughts, what we tend to kind of it's like our brain's like this kind of computer, right? Whatever we're searching for, right, we'll tend to sort of kind of keep focusing on it, and then we'll start to see that data. It's like when you go searching, not that we're doing that very often. I remember when I used to go searching for flights to go overseas, and then Virgin and Qantas, I'd see all these pop-ups coming up on my computer going, how did they know I was searching for flights to New Zealand or whatever? And it's kind of like that, like what you guys searching for, what you focus on, you'll start to see that. You'll start to kind of be out walking on the street, and then you'll start to see the data more often than not. So it's the same with what's going on with this pandemic, with COVID, with what we're focusing, right? Because there is lots of stuff that's going on in conversations I'm having with people, with social media, we're kind of it's kind of engrossing us with all this, this is the latest news, and this is the amount of cases and blah, blah, blah. And this is what, this state politician said to this state politician. And it's kind of can kind of beat you up a little bit. And I've gone, you know what? I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to be aware, but I'm not going to be focused on, I'm going to focus on things that are going to really empower me, and that'll help me empower others. And that's my whole space, is to help you all be kind and courageous. I'm going to focus on and put my frame and my attention on things that really matter, right? The work that we do, the research that we do, how we can make a difference, how we can serve you, what I'm grateful for, my beautiful daughter. There's so many things that I'm going to be focusing on that and because I kind of feel if I change that frame, I'm going to change the game, right? If I change the frame around being the best version of me and standing and true to my values, and I want to invite you. I agree, the media has totally blown COVID out of proportion. I really invite, so thanks for that comment. I really invite you to change your frame, right? Because I get the media has totally blown it out of proportion, and I absolutely think that I have, particularly in Australia, because I actually speak to so many leaders around the globe, and because I'm doing this podcast series, right, with great leaders around the globe, and I'm wanting to put a publication in around some of their stories, they mention it to me. They go, hey, you're in Australia, what's going on over there? It's kind of they've got thousands of cases, and I get this is a really deadly disease and stuff, but I'm yeah, tell me what's going over there with you. And it's interesting to see the different, different ways that we're handling this and the different types of leadership. But I revert the conversation with anyone that I have around, let's not talk about, or I don't really want to talk about COVID. I actually really want to talk about leadership. So tell me some great leadership stories. Tell me about how you're building emerging leaders, how you're championing women in leadership. Every time I get off these calls or Zoom meetings, I'm so inspired and empowered that there's so many people out there that are making a difference in the kind of courageous and inclusive leadership space. So I'm focusing my attention on that, right? Because, there's part of what we're going through, which sucks for so many of us. And that's why at the moment, last week, I think when I said I wasn't staying true to my values, it was because I felt what everyone was feeling because I was in it with you. Like this leader said to me last week, we're kind of all on the same sea, but we're kind of on different boats trying to navigate the sea. I want us to kind of feel like we're all giving each other direction and navigating together how we can get through this sea that we're on, and also try and get ourselves on the one boat, right? Because we all are Australians, and I see this like Queenslander against New South Wales and all the different things. It's like, well, you know what? There is that we have had very few hospitalizations and deaths. That's such a great focus, and that's what I've been focusing on as well, the positives around that we have. Like, we definitely have, and as I said, like these leaders across overseas are like, and I get many of them are in a lot worse situation. And I can see that, they definitely have their struggles and they're getting on with life. But I think as well, there's part of all the conversations I've been having with them is that we're realizing this isn't fun. Like, this is an awful time, but let's try not to, or let's within ourselves change the frame and go, you know what are we lucky for? What are we grateful for that we have had few hospitalizations and deaths? And that is a real positive. And let's change our language and messaging and focus where not every conversation messaging has to be about the pandemic and COVID, is around maybe we should be focusing more on what are you doing to stay healthy and how can I help you and how's your well-being and how can I serve you? What can I do to support you? Being grateful for the beautiful friends and family and teams that we have around us and people and supporters and tribe and reaching out to people more. There's so many things that we can be positive and grateful for. And also the fact, I think the key to this is absolutely kindness and empathy. I think that if we really put ourselves in some of these people's shoes, and I spoke to this remarkable young woman last week who's going through such a tough time, and she's started a small business in Melbourne, and I'm doing what I can to support her. She doesn't know me from a bar of soap, right? But, another person asked me to give her a call, and I spent a couple of hours with her last week trying to help her. And I think she was so grateful. And I thought, you know what? I was grateful I was able to help her. But then I thought I focused on the fact that we can help each other. We can support each other. And the more we focus and get our frame focused on the negativity and the frustration and the anger we have around this situation, the thing is that's where our attention's always going to go, and that's where our energy is all going to go. And that's just not going to be great for our mindset. It's not going to be great because all our thoughts get pushed back right into our hippocampus. And I was even finding, in terms of hippocampus being that long-term memory, which is attached to the limbic system, right? It's in the limbic system, is it'll start to come out in your habits. And, it's kind of like, then you won't be the best you can be for your family, for your businesses, for your teams. You won't be the best leader you can be. So if I know anything about Australians and have a look at the bushfires and how generous and kind and how much empathy we had around that, if there's anything that us as Australians and also the world, right, but our matemanship is so important. We need to stay collective together as friends, and we are one country, right? And I want us to frame our attention that if we framed it like that we're all I know it's kind of like this whole we're all in this together. We are one country. We are one leadership. If we change that and kind of start posting and talking about positive messages, achievements, supporting the Olympians. Oh my gosh, how needed was that during this time? If we focused on being courageous, okay? And I talk about courage for families and courage for teams and courage to stuff up, which I did a little bit last week by not staying true to my values. We stay focused on our purpose, okay? Our purpose in this world of leaders is to help each other, is support each other, serve each other. We're human beings. We're built to connect. That is our purpose, okay? What legacy do you want to leave? Okay, I just think that if you always go in terms of your compass, which I talk about in the book around your compass and your legacy, and look back on your life and go, you know what, I was a good human and I was kind and I was empathetic and I had the courage to stand up for people if they were being pulled down or bullied. And I was just a good human that did everything with heart and love. What a wonderful life that you'll live. All the kind of money, power, like success, cars, things are not going to, they're not going to matter in the long run, okay? And I understand that living a life with authenticity and a full life is so important, but we can do that now together. And we need to be doing that as one, right? We need to be focusing, because that's our purpose. We need to be focusing on how we can make a difference, no matter how small, even if you say 15-minute conversation, just touching base with someone to see how they're going, buying someone a coffee, putting something on LinkedIn or Facebook around, is there anything I can do to help anyone? Okay, does anyone need anything? How can I support you? Reaching out to people you haven't reached out to for a while, checking in with your team, sending them thank you cards, thinking about how this time we are going to get brave, so much stronger and braver after this time there is, and thinking about like how much stronger we're going to be from result of what we've gone through together. We need to go through this together. It's not about being unkind to each other and pulling each other down. And if there's one thing that it's so true, we need to shift our mindset. And thank you. Yeah, it's great if you could do a shift of mindset. It makes such a difference. Remember the RAS, amendment, attention goes, energy flows. I teach a lot of people in our coaching and leadership programs about neuroscience, and they love talking about the RAS. My daughter, like I taught her this when she was very young. It's made such a difference to her today. Like she's saying, Mom, I'm really thinking about where my RAS is focused at the moment. Where's my focus? I need to get rid of, like, I call them the ants, the automatic negative thoughts, all those rumination things that are going on because they're not serving me. You're the director of your brain and your mindset, right? This is our greatest stage. Absolutely our greatest stage, and only have Oscar award-winning and empowering actors, actresses, and people, right, on that stage, because it's so important that we totally stay kind and courageous. And I'm telling you, I've gone, and so many people have gone through so much adversity in their lives, and I have learned more from my adversities and challenges. This is my kitten. I know, than I have from anything else. It's actually the times where I have had those times in my life that were unexpected, that were so challenging, were the greatest adversities in my life, that I actually learnt the most about myself and took me on journeys and directions that I never, ever encountered. But what served me and what helped me through was my mindset and connecting with others. Please ask for help. Please make the phone call. Please send the email. If you don't know the person and you go, I wonder if they could help me, ask. That conversation I had with that wonderful woman that someone said for me to call, she was so grateful. It made my heart sing. And that was my focus around how I was able to make a difference and serve her. Well, she actually helped me more so as well. And that's what we need to be doing, is supporting each other, because we are in this together. Now, I love to do this because kindness is all central of what we do, because kindness matters in leadership and in organizations. Read the book around kindness and leadership, okay? Or there's so much data as well on our blogs and our websites. When you have got kind, empathetic, vulnerable leaders within your organization, it builds trust. It makes such a difference to organizations and the engagement, productivity, the motivation. I could go on and on and on around the research that's come out from several universities around the globe and organizations around the globe that have actually seen that kindness really matters, okay? And you can still be kind as a leader, remember, and be strong. And also you can still be courageous as a leader. and still show fear. Because leadership isn't a role title, it's an attitude and it's a mindset. So, you know, I'm all about kindness and generosity. If you can message me, you can message us here and tag me, or share this video, share this live, right? And share how you're being kind and how you're going to change the frame. So how you're going to change the frame, where you're going to stick your attention. Okay, so how you're going to change the frame so you can change the game. Tag me in it, share this video. I will then message you and ask you for your address, and I'll send you a copy of my book. I will send it for free. I'd love to send it to you. I'll put a nice little message in it for you. If you share this live and go, hey, we as Australians and the world, and we need to be changing the frame and changing the game together, because we can all do this. It's only the small acts of leadership and kindness can have the biggest ripple effect. So us sharing this post, and just tag me in it so I know you have, and then I will send you a copy of my book. I would love to know what you're going to do. If you'd love to share with me what you're going to do, you can do it now, but definitely share this with my unwashed hair. Come on, it's a Sunday. I would love to. And remember, this is the Kind Human Club, because happiness. It says happiness is contagious, but I actually think kindness is contagious. So see, like, I've changed my frame and I'm not changing the game already, okay? Attention goes, all right? Energy flows. Always remember where you're putting your attention. Okay, and just so you know this as well, I set my RAS every morning. I wake up every morning. I don't do this every morning. I try my best. I don't like the word try, but I will be doing this in the future. But I do as much as I can. Is I journal, I visualize, I do affirmations, I write and I read, only because you can tell I've got 50 billion leadership books there. I'm pretty passionate about this space. But this to me is my most important tool, because I just think when I'm the best version of me, I'm the best version for everyone. And I want you to be all the best version of yourself, and I want you to love yourself, because all of you that are watching this are awesome, totally awesome. You're all courageous, because I can tell you now, you're braver than you think you are. And you're probably sitting there looking at me going, what? But can I tell you, you are. So please change your mindset, change the frame. You are the director of your mind, okay? Remember that, okay? Squash the automatic negative thoughts, the ants, and make sure you're setting your RAS around what is important and what is positive and what are your strengths and talents, because you've got them for a reason. Because I love this quote, right? Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you who you are, okay? And I want you all to be kind and courageous and inclusive and great leaders. And imagine, I would love that all for you. So share this live, tag me in it. I'll send you a message, get your address. And I want to say thank you so much for listening to my live this morning. It's been such an honor, you know, connecting with all of you. Thank you all for all your incredible comments. And you know what, it's still Sunday morning, and I know wherever you are in Australia and the world, I'm sure whatever the weather is like, it's a beautiful day. Surround yourself with love, family. Maybe get a journal out and start to think about this live. Write down like what you're going to be focusing on. Visualize that. Think about how you're going to focus on that each and every day. Those beautiful affirmations, that mindset, how you're going to set your mindset. Give your family a hug, or reach out to them and or your friends and family, tell them you love them. Reach out to someone on social media and just say, hey, haven't spoken to you in a while. How are you? Think about what you're grateful for and post that. And let's just keep that beautiful, positive, kind, and courageous energy throughout the world. And we've got this as one. All right. Thank you, and stay safe. Stay kind. Thank you.